rockin' girls, some soulful nights, with grace, with lace and chemistry. When I need it, well, they don't care. When I dream it, well, do you care? When I lose it, baby, do you care? When I scream it, and I don't care. My two-chord song, Hell.
But this is our first series of the animated human web TV songwriter spotlight. And Nikki is our first guest, and you know, very happy to have her here. So, you know, we're going to move on. We're going to ask you a couple of questions, and you're going to have some answers.
I sure hope so.
All right. We're all looking for answers anyway. So.
I don't know if I can give those kinds of answers.
No. You know, so my first question is, when did you start singing and playing?
Singing, I can't remember, but playing, I was probably about 13. And I got a guitar off these guys at McDuff's Music Shop.
Right on.
In Shrewsbury, Massachusetts.
A piece
and no
of
longer
history. Yeah.
A little piece of history. I got a guitar that was far too big for me when I was about 13 off those guys for about $48. And Richie McDuff and Rich Bishop both gave me some cheat sheets, and living intermittently with my grandparents, I would go home with the guitar and some cheat sheets and learn the 3-chord Hell that, you know, you can have one song. And
So
yeah.
What made you decide to go out and get a guitar and start playing?
I really wanted to play piano, and that was not an option.
You can't carry it around with you.
No, you can't carry it around. And although I did not know how far I would be carrying a guitar at that point, I thought maybe a guitar, because it seemed to me that, first of all, it was way cool to have a guitar. And if there was going to be something else I could do other than sing, I would have to learn something. And I was always fascinated with strings, period, anyway, you know. And piano, really, although it's keys.
It's a stringed instrument, right? It's a string drum.
It is a string drum, yeah. You're right. Wow, that's a neat way of putting it, Brett.
So did you start writing songs then, too?
No. I copied everybody. And I used to have a little book of words, and it was more poetic stuff, little girl stuff about the trees and the bees and the, you know, but never really thought about putting any of that stuff to music. And then I wrote a song for my dad about mowing the lawn. And
there you go.
And it kind of started from there. And it was a joke song, and about my father being Mr. Pristine Lawn. And it just sort of started from there, how I didn't want him to pluck the dandelions, and I didn't want him to have to make everything so uniform. And
right.
So, and other than that, I was probably, yeah, right, after I got my guitar, and I was able to put EDA to the words I wrote for Dad.
So who are some of your influences?
I
imagine that changes over time.
It changes, you're right, over time. But being a girl and being a woman being a girl at the time, I looked forward to any girls singing rock and roll. And so, of course, early on, it was Ann and Nancy Wilson. But I'm not sure it was because they rocked or they were lyrical. I don't know why. But I think just because they were rockin' females. Yeah. But over the years, I mean, I love Lowell George and Robert Hunter and Joni Mitchell, and I mean, for songwriting capability and something that I can appreciate and almost, resemble at times. But I also like, I'm really liking this girl from the Ungrateful Bastards lately. I'm thinking she's a great little songwriter. But I think Lowell George Neil Young, Robert Hunter would probably be my 3. And Joni Mitchell, of course. Just her, I can't wrap my head around what she does, though. So you can always reach, but...
Well, can you tell us a little bit about your songwriting process?
It's always words before music, first of all. And I've heard it said the other way around. And once you have the music, then you have the words. But it's never come that way for me.
Yeah.
Words born out of, it's pretty topical. I don't get too deep. But, and then when I get the song in my head or the words down on paper, I try and think of how this is supposed to sound. I either have a darker, more minor side, or I go with the sevenths and funk it out a little bit on that, kind of a rock and country blues thing. But I've only written one semi-love song, and for the rest, it always comes with words, and it's, whatever happened that day or how you feel as a person doing whatever you do. Being a mom or a wife or a teacher or a student or a daughter or a sister,
right?
And then the music comes along. Unfortunately, though, when I would love to probably do some kind of co-writing, because when I have a song idea in my head and I go to put the music to it, it ends up being something completely different than what I actually thought about it sounding like. And I battle with that a lot. But I probably have enough songs to have a couple of albums, but I haven't put them all to music because that's where I get a little weak in the knees.
Well, you heard it here, folks. There's some opportunities abound. We have come to that point in the show where Nikki is going to perform a song for us all.
Oh, okay. It's the only semi-love song that I have written, and it's because there are other men in my life, and I love my husband, but when you grow up in a situation where there are so many men and so many people to look up to, when you go to choose someone in your life, who do you have to choose by? And who do you look to for advice? And so when I wrote this song called Wait, I met a man many years ago who gave me that strange feeling. I don't believe in fireworks and all that, but gave me that feeling like, wow, this man's very interesting. And who was I thinking about when I thought about this man? But my most favorite man in the world was my grandfather, who was semi-quiet, however funny. And there wasn't too many people out there that didn't like him. I ended up marrying the man that I speak of. So, Patrick, probably a very good thing. So, excuse me. Caught myself looking back to see if you were looking back at me. I cry about you and I just waste my time. Keep me running from the fears that made me crazy. Can you feel me from another place? And do you know how real I am? And are you with me in my quiet space? I'm gonna be here in the end. It's so true, my life's been pretty cool, and I won't complain about the time spent with you. Wait a long, long while, babe, I'll make you smile. It won't be too late. Wait. Can you feel me from another place? And do you know how real I am? And are you with me in my quiet space? I'm gonna be here in the end. And it's so true, and our life's been pretty cool, and I know you feel it too. So wait a long, long while, 'cause babe, I'll make you smile. It won't be too late. Wait.
That was really nice.
Thank you, Brett.
So what do you have coming up for gigs?
Well, I'm doing this coming March 29th on a Thursday, again at the Bar and Grill. Well, then there might be one in April, same place, but we're going to be posting them up, and then I'll be doing another one in May. I'm trying to get out there a little bit, and Brett's given me that footing that because like I say, I put it back and take it out and put it down and take it out.
I figure it's one of those things that once people hear you, it's going to be like,
come on out, have a nice drink.
We want her to play at our place.
Yeah, and I there was that time in Rhode Island and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a couple of gigs, and we'll be posting them on the Facebook and using the animated human web stuff to show you what you're looking forward to. To come on out and catch some shows out there. So, and hopefully from there things will sprout out over the summer. I'm hoping, but I want to get my songs out there again, and I think there's something in a little something in everything for everyone, or at least in my circles anyway, and a few extra.
I think so. I think you have a lot to offer the musical world.
Thanks, Brett.
And the audience world as well. So, and you guys can all be the judge of that. So,
thank you.
Something we'll get going. So, I want to thank Nikki for coming down to the Animated Human Web TV Songwriter Spotlight. And, we'll be doing more of these. You'll be seeing more, meeting lots of folks. And so remember, March 29th, Nikki will be at Route 56 Bar and Grill, Roadside Bar and Grill in North Oxford, Mass.
Right.
Playing from 7 to 10. And I think I will try to join her there. And
I would love that, Brett.
So maybe we can get together beforehand and,
Absolutely.
I'll pick a corner on either side of the stage. Just kind of hang back there.
You can come right up front with me if you want.
And we'll have a lot of fun.
Thanks to you guys.
And I want to thank Jonathan Avalon.
Yay.
Guy behind the camera making things work. And encourage you all to check out animatedhuman.com. And there's also a link in there for the songwriters and for web TV. So you can go to AHWebTV.animatedhuman.com or go to animatedhuman.com and click on the web TV link. And you can see lots of fun stuff there, and keep checking it out because there will be more. So thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Nikki.